So today we're finally back out in the field because it's finally dry enough to be doing some schooling. I say finally, I've been doing stuff for a few weeks. So this is Gabby. She is 17, she's our oldest, and the last couple of years she's had quite a leisurely time, not doing a huge amount. She's done a couple of pleasure rides over the last couple of years and then the odd bit of schooling here and there, but she's not done any proper work for a while. So I've spent the winter hacking her around the field, you know, using the hills to build her back up. And then the last maybe 3 to 4 weeks, I would say, we've been back up here doing a little bit of schooling, building ourselves back up slowly. And just, I've been very much doing what I feel she needs on that day, which is kind of how I operate anyway. I don't always have a set plan unless I've got poles out. It's probably the only time. So I'm just gonna, a couple of minutes on a long rein. I haven't actually got my watch on today to see how long we're going, and my phone is recording, so I'll have to just gauge the time and see how we go. But I'm gonna talk through what we've been doing, what I feel she needs to do today, and the exercises that we're gonna do. And yeah, it will largely be probably an uncut video. That's my plan, just show you what I'm doing. 25, 30 minutes, that's all she's really doing at the moment. She's not fit enough to be schooling for 45 minutes to an hour, nor does she really need to be honest. So, good girl. Obviously, she's been out in the field anyway, so she's not coming out of a stable stiff, which is always good. But some of the things that we have been working on recently is her walk in general. She's always had a terrible walk, and although it's not too bad at the moment, she'll often get quite rushed and hurried. The walk can then get actually a bit choppy, and she very much falls on the forehand then and actually leans and gets quite downhill. She's a little bit stiff in places, so we've been doing lots of lateral work trying to supple her up and get her moving a little bit better again. Obviously important for all ages, but as she's getting older as well, I want to keep her as supple and soft as possible. And we've been doing little bits of canter work, but they're not, I'm not trying to school the canter at the moment. I just use the canter to see if what we've been doing is helping, because the canter needs a lot of work because she's kind of not gone backwards, but she's not as fit and as supple and as soft and as strong as she used to be. But I'm not going to fix that in the canter, working the canter, if that makes sense. So stuff that I'll do in walk and trot that will help the canter indirectly, I suppose. Right, so let's, I'm going to change the rein again actually, and start on what I think is her better rein generally. She also has a bad habit, and it's something from me, from being drilled about getting bend and getting flexion. So she actually overflexes quite a lot to the inside, more so on the left. She's a bit straighter this way, which is better, but I'm trying to correct that as well by just doing little bits of square work. Yes, I know the trees are down, and they weren't the other day, were they? It's actually very cold, but I have ditched my coat. Okay, so we'll just start for a little leg yield back to the track, slow her down a little bit. Yeah, so she just kind of comes behind the vertical a little bit in the walk, and she also is in the habit of trying to do Spanish walk in the slower walk work, and that's my fault. I taught her Spanish walk, I think it was probably COVID, it's probably like 2020, maybe 2021, and I taught it to her from a more collected walk and kind of gathering her up. So now she does kind of think whenever I slow her down that she's got to do Spanish walk, so we're trying to get out of that, but it's not the end of the world. Good girl. Come again. So I'm using this to try and gauge as well how much she's off my leg, which is not very much, to be honest. She's not the sharpest pony. She can be a bit silly, but I wouldn't class her as sharp particularly, which means she's not always as off my leg as I would like personally. So yeah, in the walk I'm just trying to keep her up a little bit. So you see I'm lifting my hands every now and again because I don't want her bearing down. I want her to stay soft in my hand, but I don't want her to kind of drop behind the vertical too much and then get on the forehand. Let's do one more from a little bit further. I'm gonna straighten you up. Yeah, that was a bit more difficult. So I'm trying to be picky on keeping her straight and not allowing her to bend through the neck too much in the leg yield. So you don't want too much neck bend anyway as a finished product. Good girl. Good. Oh, I know it's hard, a bit chompy. A couple more steps in with her. Good girl. Okay, let's do a little, should we change the rein? Do a little turn on the haunches in the corner, I think. We'll try. Good girl. So yeah, you see when we go up into trot, that she does come up into the bridle majority of the time. Her trot work is much, much better than her walk and canter work. Come on, round we go. Oh dear. Oh dear. That was hard, wasn't it? Good girl. The worst turn on the haunches ever. Good girl. So I'm just going to do the same exercise this way now. A couple of leg yields. I think she's worse this way, especially in walk. I don't think she goes off my leg very much at all. Okay, not too bad. Yeah, she falls on the forehand a little bit more this way. Good girl. Although, better in some ways, worse in others. She's not straight that way. She's twisting her head a little bit. And that's what I mean about the flexing to the inside, where it's a bit too generous this way sometimes. Yeah, I know, it's still there. And obviously we haven't got the fencing up at the moment, so we've got no wall, which is fine, but it does mean she's completely relying on me to tell her to sit the right way for a start, telling her where to go. Yeah, I bend her too much this way. It's me as much as her. But she doesn't then get her quarters over as much. I'm going to try and push the quarters a bit more first, that's better. Slow her down a little bit more so we've both got more time, we can be a bit more accurate. It's a bit messy, but good girl. All right, I'm just going to check that camera is recording, because I don't always trust it. Oh, which means we're going to have to hop off. Hey, doggo. Right, oh, sorry. Oh, still tracking us, but... It is. Cool. Actually, I'm gonna leave it. All right, let's go back and get on again. Obviously, you don't really want to break it up like that, but it doesn't do any harm to do a little bit of mountain again. She never used to be the best at the mountain block, or in fact, I never used to be able to stand her at a mountain block. She would not stand still for long enough. You kind of had to get on her like a racehorse. Hey, good girl. Right, we need to do one more. And then we'll have a little trip trot, and then I'll come back and do some more lateral work. So, like I said, I don't really have a set plan. I always do lateral work at the start, generally, unless she's a little bit upset and she's got a bit of tension where she needs to have a little trot. That works best for her than trying to keep her in walk and relax her. Yeah, generally I won't trot her until we've done this. But can we go? Oh, you're almost too lazy today. Looking at that tree, don't you? Good girl. So yes, I want a bit of inside bend, but I do have to be careful with her this way. I'm not overly worried about head carriage, but I want her soft in my hand. If she comes against my hand, I'm going to try and soften her like there as quickly as possible, but I'm just trying to keep her jaw relaxed, which will in turn keep her a little bit more relaxed through her neck, and obviously then through the rest of her body, and then she can carry herself a bit better. But I don't want to force her anywhere. Good girl. We're a little bit speedy trot, but because she's a bit behind the leg today, I will take it. I wouldn't normally want her this fast. It's comes a bit of a run rather than a trot. Nova, beep beep. Let's slow you down a little bit up here. Good girl, it's better. Okay, that's better. So keeping the trot work really simple at the moment. I add the odd transition in. Transitions aren't great at the moment. Oh, that wasn't too bad. You didn't bury me in the floor. Oh, upwards aren't good today, though. Hey? I'm trying to keep her a little bit squarer in the sense of not over flexing to the inside, like I said. Oh, steady. Good girl. Over we go. Good girl. Nice and straight now, outside rein. See, I'd normally have the fence line here to help, but I don't, so if we drift, that's on me. Well, it is on her as well, but It's on me for not correcting it. And walk. Yeah, that was a worse transition. She's not dropping me as much though. She'd normally dive on the forehand a little bit more into that walk transition. Good girl, it was just the dog. Let's have a little spin the other way, steady. Right, new inside bend. Whoop, sorry, that was a bit tight. Good girl. So this way I need to ask for a little bit more bend because she doesn't give it to you as much. But again, I don't want to fall into the same trap that, same trap of falling into the other way where I then end up bending her too much and she just drifts through the outside shoulder all the time and you can't actually straighten her up. Good girl. Right, slow it a fraction. Good girl. I know that probably looks a bit dawdly, but I don't want her rushing. She needs to put a bit of effort in and actually use her back end rather than dragging herself along at full speed with her little front legs. So we'll slow it down, try and get a bit more push behind. Good girl. Oh, very sniffly today. And we'll come down to walk again. So we're in a halt transition. Couple of steps back. Right, we're a bit wonky and then trot. Oh dear. So getting the rein back just to create a little bit of sit, try and lighten her in front. Again, not that she's feeling super on the forehand today, but still, I'll do that again. No, that's really bad. Now you're against my hand. No. And now we've got the choppy walk. Let's do a halt here on the straight. Ooh. Good. Back. I'm going to bend her a bit left because her quarters are going left and try and keep her a bit straighter. Good. And go. Brrr. That was a bit of a better transition. Good girl. Right. So I'm going to start adding in a couple of leg yields in trot now and just see how that feels. What I'm going to do, what you notice, is I'm going to change my diagonal because I want to put my leg on when I sit, and if I stay on the right diagonal, when her inside hind leg is on the floor is when I'm sat. So I'm kind of being useless with my leg for that part. So it's just about timing. You can put your leg on when you're in the rise phase, but it's a lot harder. So I prefer just to change my diagonal. Now, if I was doing leg yield off the track to the centre line, I don't need to because I'm then pushing her the other way. We'll try that now. She's not very good at this. Steady. So I'm then actually leg yielding the opposite way. Oh dear. Come on, this is really bad. All right, go straight. Oh, we've lost momentum. Good girl. But yeah, hopefully you see what I mean. I've not explained that the best today. Oh, I'm out of breath. It's not helping. You're very speedy again. Slow down slightly. Yeah, she finds coming out of the corners and leg yielding a little bit more difficult at the moment because obviously when you do it that way, you're changing the bend, you're changing their balance slightly, whereas when we come down like the 3/4 line and leg yield back to the track, sorry Dylan, you're keeping the bend the same and everything, so she hasn't got as much to do. Good girl. I'm just going to do those the other way and then we'll come down and do some more lateral work and walk. It'll also give her a little bit of a breather because she's not super fit. She's also still in her winter woolies, so she's a bit hairy, and I'm probably not going to clip her because I don't really need to. And it is, she's molting now. But yeah, hopefully next time you see her, she'll look a little bit less scruffy, maybe. Might have trimmed her mane up by then as well, but good girl. You're living a natural life at the moment, aren't you? Good. Kind of. I felt I overrode that a little bit then because I'm finding her backing off a bit. She's dying on me slightly. I need to keep her straighter this way, but then we both struggle. Ah, that's better. So again, just a little squeeze as I sit. Squeeze. Good girl. That's better. One more. And we'll have a little walk. Again, I know she's a bit strung out at times. Trying to keep her soft, but she's not dragging me along. She doesn't feel on the forehand. at the moment. So as she gets stronger, she'll round up herself. Oh yeah, well, this is bad again. You don't like it this way, do we? Okay, I think we both need a breather. Good girl. Oh no, not again. I always forget about the alarm. I'm gonna have to get off again, Gabs. Ooh. Right, stay there. Hey, pup. Stay there. Good girl. That's only 16 minutes. We never 10. Sorry, Dylan. On again, I'm sorry. Okay, so I'll hop back on and we'll just do some of the lateral work again. That's probably a bit more trot work than I would maybe normally do with her before I come back down to walk. I don't know, like I said, I just kind of go with the vibes. Good girl. I know, I haven't actually asked you to walk off yet, but it's fine. Let's stay this way. Okay, so the quality of the walk is always, like I said, a bit of a problem with Gabs. Like her natural free walk is kind of right down there, which is not great. She needs to take it out a bit further, which we're working on. We are doing little bits of that, but that's not what we're doing today. So I'm going to collect her up a little bit, and then she's on the forehand, she's rushing. I can feel, slow down, because you've got all your weight on your front legs. You need to lift up a little bit. I'm going to slow her right down. We're going to go for a shoulder in along here again. Don't have a wall. My line's a bit wibbly wobbly as it is. Is this your worst rain? I can't remember. I've got to be really careful that she doesn't just push the quarters out, which gives her the illusion of doing a shoulder in, but that the quarters actually stay on the track where they should be and the shoulders come off, which we are absolutely not doing at the moment. You do feel stiffer today. Yeah, this is just a leg yield really, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Good girl. Like I said, we will build up to it. Shoulder in's not normally too much of an issue. Get off. But she is a bit tired. Good girl. I'm tired. So let's see if I can set you up a bit better. Inside bend, inside leg at the girth, outside leg behind the girth to stop her quarters swinging. This starting a bit better. No, you're drifting. Look, imagine the walls there, Gabs, and you've just bumped your bum in it because you've drifted. Come on. That's better. I think she's better the other way. No, we don't need Spanish walk. No, we don't. This is the problem I was talking about. But that's okay. It does make her slow down a little bit and actually lift her shoulders. That's kind of the point of Spanish walk. Okay, good girl. I do find with Gabby that she finds the shoulder in easier at a trot. So we will do that in a bit, but I want to do it in walk. She needs to be able to do it in walk as well. Get up. I know, you're leaning. Good girl. See, this isn't a flat surface, but again, if she can do it up here, then she can do it anywhere. That's a bit better. It's still a bit leg yieldy. But I will just take what we can get. I'm not looking for perfection, ever. Although it would be nice, but steady a little bit. To be honest, even if she just manages to keep the tempo, keep herself slow without leaning on me and having a little bit of bend round to the inside, this is better. I'm okay with this. Good girl. Have a little stretch, we'll change the rein. Dive down onto the forehand. Might do a whole session on stretching with her at some point. Come on, get. Yeah, I'm just trying to bring her forward. The stretch down is good, but it's not forward, and then she rushes and we get this horrible choppy walk, and it's actually not very good at all. Like, the rhythm is horrific. I feel like I'm sat on a washing machine or a car with square wheels. Hey, is that you? Right, and steady. Right, slow down, pick yourself back up a bit. Now this is where the little bit of inside flexion helps this way, where she's a bit more bendy. But again, you've got to watch then, if you've got something that's a bit more supple to one side, that they still don't cheat in the shoulder in and just bend the neck. It's very tricky, isn't it? Good girl. Yeah, you're pushing the quarters out a little bit, but that is better. But Yeah, see, she twists a little bit in her head. So she kind of bends to the inside, and then she kind of actually twists her head to the outside. And that's where I think that straightness, if I try and straighten her up now, no, I will lift this hand, keep this hand low. There, she's a bit straighter through her ears now, but we've almost lost a bit of angle. It's fine. I've got to be a little bit picky. You're not dropping down. Stay up. Over out the way. Good girl. All right, 2 more this way. Okay. So again, a little bit of bend. Just try and keep your hindquarters on the track, facing forward. Good girl. No, don't twist your head. That's cheating. So I've always got. It's really difficult. I've almost got to get a bit more bend without her falling it there. Good girl. Just to straighten her up, but I don't want to overflex her. It's just going to take time, I think, to straighten her up this way, where she's almost like hypermobile. I don't think she's necessarily actually hypermobile, but it's that feeling where it's like, actually, I can just bend my head all the way around to the left, but don't do it properly. So it's no good. Right, last one. And then we'll do a little bit of, well, we've started doing a bit of travers with her, but kind of baby travers, because she doesn't find it very easy. So we start with a little bit of quarters in. We're going to do our last shoulder in first. I think I ride it a bit better this way. It's a bit flatter on this side, but still twisting. Be interesting if you can see that, where her left ear is dropped more than her right. So she's bent round to the left, and she has got her shoulders in on the track. She's maybe a little bit not straight enough behind. It's okay. But actually she's twisting then to the outside as well. That's a bit better. Good girl. Okay. Let's stay on this rein. So again, this is an easier exercise if you have a fence line. But we don't, so actually have a little stretch a minute up here, and we'll do it on the next long side. Oh, what is my dog doing? Nova, what's wrong? Okay? Up, up. Slow down a little bit. Slow the walk a bit, Gab. Slow down. Okay. Don't listen to me at all. It's fine. You all right? Do you need a wee? Bit weird. Okay. Fine. Right, so, yes, I'm going to collect her up again, similarly to the shoulder in. But this time I'm going to actually bend her to the outside, so she would be against the wall then, if there was one, or the fence. And I can see I can push the quarters across. So I'm kind of her back end I'm trying to get to do travers, but the front end isn't yet. So this again, it's just a leg yield long wall, but I just want her to get off my outside leg and get in the frame of mind that her quarters can come in off the track, and it's not an alien idea. And then I can try and add the inside bend back in whilst keeping a little bit of the 3 tracks with the quarters in slightly. Up, up, up. Do that again, and I might try and add in a bit of bend from the middle then. Good girl. I know, you're all a bit rusty, aren't you? Me too, me too. Not done this properly for a while, have we? Good girl. All right, so I'm going to put my inside leg on now, see if I can just bring her round slightly. That's okay, not Spanish walk. Okay, we've got a little bit of bend. So I might have to sacrifice how much I get the quarters in to get a little bit of bend, but that's okay. Good girl, well done. That's really difficult. It's a lot of, oh my God, this walk. That's a lot of stretching all through on the outside for her. Have a little stretch, and then maybe won't do the shoulder in trot just yet. I might have a little canter first, see how that is, and then do the shoulder in trot, because it might help the canter. That's my thoughts anyway. Did you trip in a hole then? Right, stop pulling me down. Up you get. Okay. Good girl. Right, now can we get a little bit of bend back? Walk on a little bit. It's a fine line with you, isn't it? We should be in very chill today. So again, I'm going to take the quarters across, bend it to the outside first. Looking where I'm going, down the track. Inside leg at the girth now. Bend. I've completely lost the quarters. No, we don't need that. Spanish walk, traverse. No, come on. That's not what we want. So I'm gonna get the quarters back across, so I'm gonna bend it to the outside again. No, look, I know you're confused. One more try. Have a little tiny trot. Nova, watch out. And walk. Good girl, okay. I need to keep her a little bit forward to not get the Spanish walk, but at the same time, she needs to be balanced. It's really hard. Good girl. Brr, brr, brr. Okay, now bend a little bit to the inside. Yeah, good. Good. No. Brr. Oh, more fingers and thumbs as well. Goodness. There. It's kind of there. It's not quite there, but it's a start. Have a little trot. Little trot. Change the rein. Oh, something rattly coming. Always helpful. Good girl. And walk. Okay, let's try a couple this way. And then we'll go for a canter, and that'll probably do you, because I think we've probably done 25 minutes now. I think this way's definitely be harder. I think it should be easy to get her quarters in, but I think I'm going to struggle to then bring her around my inside leg because she doesn't bend as well to the right. No, come on, especially when she's doing that. I should never have taught you this, Gabby, come on. Very impressive, yes, well done. Come on. Yeah, I think I'm going to struggle to get the bend round. I might try. I need to do some hand work with her as well. To be honest, I would do a lot of that in hand, and I think that's probably going to be the way to do it. I might try see if I can bend around the inside first. Stay straight. Right, straight line but bend. And then I'm putting my outside leg on. Obviously you can't see that. There, oh, little baby step. Oh, good girl. Walk forward, walk on, walk on. And again, a little bit of bend. Okay, so this way I might be better off taking the bend a little bit first. Good girl. It's minute, it's very, very small. We are working on it, but it's fine. It's a step in the right direction. She's trying. I'm not getting stroppy about it because it's hard. Right, actually, I'm gonna check your girth first. Yeah, that'll probably go up a hole. Can we do this side? I'm gonna go right rein first, just because that's her, it's not necessarily her better side, but it's her straighter side. Because she's a bit stiffer, like I've said, she doesn't overflex this way, so I can keep her a bit straighter. So I've been trying to do little bits of square work in the little bits of canter we are doing, especially on the left rein. Good girl, we'll do our transition at the top. Nova, no, thank you. Oh, she's so grumpy. Let's see what this transition looks like, because you feel a little bit sleepy. Oh, yes, goodness. Oh, goodness. Horrendous. We'll do that again in a sec. And whoop. It is a little bit uphill here. That's better. Right, back to trot. Okay, try that transition again. That was better. Good girl. So yeah, so it runs a little bit downhill here, and then it comes back uphill across here. So I kind of get why she picks up speed down there. Good girl. But yeah, I'm trying to keep her a little bit straighter, a little bit more even in my hand. Good girl. We'll go just down the long side. If I feel her starting to get too much on the forehand that I can't get her back like here, to be honest, oh, we're gonna just come down. Oi, excuse me. And that's when she gets quite strong, but from leaning, where she can't quite carry herself in that canter again yet. Again, it's never been her best pace, come on. But it's definitely quite literally gone downhill where we've not been doing much. Oi. the transitions aren't too bad. And wool, so let's keep it short and sweet. Go around the back of the lazy dog. And then let's do another one. Bend here, good. And wool. Yeah, so she just kind of leans down onto the bit then, gets a bit resistant, a bit against my hand. But it's just where she can't pick herself up into it. She would rather have her head on the floor. Of course, I'm not allowing that. We'll do one more transition. Do it here again. Oh dear, that was very bad. We'll just do a little change. Across the middle. My eyes are watering because it's so bloody cold. Oh. Steady. Okay, this is where it gets a little bit trickier. I've got to not be so grabby with my left hand, and I've got to keep her more in my outside rein. And what I'll find, or what I do find, is that then when I keep her straighter, she finds it more difficult to canter, because that is not, how she's kind of done her canter work on the left rein for years and years, because I've just kept her really tight in my left rein. So I'm trying, push her around, good girl. Steady, a bit downhill. Ooh. So like the canter's kind of better that way. Like it feels easier, but she's not as straight. So we've got things to work on both reins. Up a little bit, but like I said, I'm not too worried. I just like to have a couple of little canter transitions. Oh, I know we're tired, aren't we? Wasn't very good either. Nice and straight. Yeah, so even with hardly any rein, she just flicks into the inside a bit too much. Or a bit too much for my liking anyway. Steady slightly, but keep going forward. Outside rein, better, slightly better. Yeah, then she backs off and walk. And then we fall back into trot. Well done. Good girl. Okay. So yeah, normally I probably wouldn't finish with the canter necessarily, but because I can feel she's getting a little bit behind the leg, she's kind of going, actually, I need to stop now. It could be that I give her 5 minutes and then she's okay, but I'd rather just go, okay, we're done, you've done a lot of good work. But I do try and do the canter, like maybe not necessarily in the middle, but somewhere in the middle. So then I can do a little bit of lateral work afterwards, maybe have another trot, maybe then do another canter. I think we overcooked the trot at the start. Are we finished, are we? She's like, get off me. Good girl. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of a very average schooling session with her at the moment. That is mostly what things are looking like. Some variation of that. Like I said, there's a couple of different exercises we add in here and there. We might do some leg yields from different places. I might do leg yields on a circle, which I haven't done today. It just depends how she feels. In general, all of them. I will do what I think they need to get them a bit more supple if they're feeling a bit stiff, get them a bit off the forehand if they're running down, get them a bit more off the leg if they're being a bit on the lazy. I don't like lazy. They're not as forward as they can be. They're not off my leg, listening to me as much. I'll do some exercise for that. So it varies, but yeah, that's kind of where we're at the moment. So I think probably revisit her in a couple of weeks, unless I do, well, I will do, so unless I film when I do an in-hand session with her and do some in-hand schooling, and we'll some of that lateral work that I was doing with her that she's finding a bit difficult, like the travers and stuff, we'll do in hand. So if you want to see that, let me know. That might be a shorter video, like 15 minutes. I tend to do with them in hand work. It doesn't need to be as long, obviously it's all in walk pretty much. There's loads of videos already on the channel with the in hand work, but yeah, it might be nice to see it in the sense of why I'm doing it, because of what we've just figured out today, and then the next time we have a schooling video with Gabby, how it's helped, hopefully. I know you're getting impatient now, aren't you? So I'm going to walk her off and then get her untacked, and hopefully I'm going to do a dusty video next as well, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, if you did like, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and yeah, I will hopefully see you with Dusty in the next video.